EV startup Rivian started trading on Wednesday, and the stock has popped 60% and peaked at over a $100 billion valuation. They, of course, have no revenue. So as of midday Thursday, the stock settled at around $117 a share. That represents around $100 billion market cap. In other words, it's worth what Airbnb, Uber, and other companies that have tens of billions of dollars in revenue is worth. And those are obviously much better businesses. The company has made zero revenue as of their S1 from October 1st. Their projected best case scenario for Q3 is $1 million in revenue. Obviously, quarter three ends September 30th, for those of you who are not familiar. And as of September 30th, Rivian reported 48,000 pre-orders for both the R1T and the R1S. This is their pickup truck, which is pretty good looking. I think it looks essentially like a pickup truck with a nice set of lights. Not really much different than a pickup truck you might see from Ford, to be totally honest. And I think that was their design choice, was to just say, hey, this is really easy for somebody who owns a Ford 150. Of course, since Ford announced that they're doing an electric 150. So I think that's going to be a big problem for Rivian, to be totally honest, because Ford can lose money on the 150. I don't think Ford is as far behind today as it was when Tesla came out over a decade ago. So let's put that on the side for a second. These customers paid a cancelable and fully refundable deposit of $1,000. So they have $48 million in deposits. Remember Jason's Law? I tell you about this all the time. If a company has a $1 billion valuation before they have revenue or a product in market, it's either a fraud or it's going to fail. This has been true almost universally. We saw it with Nikola. We might be seeing it with Magic Leap, unknown if Magic Leap's ever going to get to profitability or products in market. When's the last time anybody used a Magic Leap product? Theranos falls into this category. Nikola, Quibi, which, wasn't a terrible product, but wasn't a great product either. And I give them credit for trying, but it did command a huge valuation. So I always get worried when the valuation gets too high compared with the performance. And that's coming from me as an investor in private companies. You would think I'd be like, yeah, let it rip. It's good for me if these things rip. Why wouldn't I, as an investor, want to see valuations disconnect from reality? Well, because I don't think it's sustainable. I would like there to be a sustainable environment for startups and for high-tech companies. A company with no delivered vehicles becoming worth $100 billion is absolutely insane. Now, this might be a case where Jason's Law does not actually wind up applying. It could wind up not being a fraud, and it could wind up being successful. I think Nikola, Fisker, and some of these other electric vehicle startups are nowhere near where Rivian is, based on what I can see. It has an estimated range of 314 miles. It starts at $67K, but I don't think that's the actual price. I think it winds up being closer to 90 or 100. As of September 30th, 2021, we produced 12 R1Ts and delivered 11. Now, all of these vehicles seem to have delivered to their employees. In other words, it sounds like they're bespoke, handcrafted vehicles. This is what Tesla called the Founder Series, or basically prototypes. So by October 31st, we produced 180 R1Ts and delivered 156. So that's 145 delivered in October. I guess they timed this to be when they were delivering their products. Quoting Rivian, nearly all of these vehicles were delivered to Rivian employees, and we expect to ramp deliveries to third-party consumers as we increase our production rate. That's a big red flag. It's not uncommon to give the first ones to employees. Obviously, the employees are not going to rip it to shreds. And the Founder Series at Tesla did go out to the early investors. I had a Founder Series of Model 3. Obviously, people famously know I have Signature 001 of the Model S. And that's a collectible that I think I'm going to maybe donate to the Smithsonian or something. I don't know if there's a place where I can donate this $1 million car so I can get it out of my garage and they could maybe insure it and put it on display. If there's a car, and listen, the folks at Rally Road, I got to get back to them. They were very nice. They wanted to auction off the Signature 1 and my Roadster 16. I haven't done that, but I would like to put them in a museum somewhere. If somebody wanted to, is there a great museum that takes these cars and, will take custodianship of them and I don't know if I want to give it to them yet or donate it, but I would like to just have it on display somewhere, like two of the first. It'd be kind of cool. So here's a tweet from a Rivian employee, Travis Munson, on October 22nd. The R1T truck has been driven and reviewed by the press, though. Bloomberg, Motor Trend, Roadshow, and CNET. And they've generally been positive, noting the large storage space. Bloomberg noted the truck is cute, but not a badass pickup truck. Not sure I'm looking for Bloomberg for their take on these. Amazon and Ford own about a third of the company combined. And those are really two good votes of confidence. Amazon owns 20%, which is now worth over $20 billion. I wonder if that's Bezos trying to stick it to Elon. You know, they have that little back and forth over rocket ships. And Ford owns a 12% stake valued at over $10 billion. So you have to wonder, like, what's going on with the relationship with Ford and Rivian? Ford was it 6 months ago that they announced the electric F-150 and they kind of surprised the market with that announcement that this was coming? And like Ford owns 12% of a company that they're the number one competitor of. I mean, how does that work? I mean, obviously Ford is getting an education here, but I don't think they're hedging their bet at all. I think they want to win the category. So that's got to be interesting. At 12%, you would have a board seat, but how do you give a board seat to Ford? Maybe Ford thinks they have a chance to buy the company, but now that the market cap's $100 billion, it's more than what Ford's worth. So Rivian, with 150 cars delivered to their employees, could buy Ford or be an equal merger. It's bizarre. I mean, the world has literally gotten disconnected from reality. That doesn't mean Rivian is not a real product, a real company. So let me be clear about that. I actually think they're more real than, like, let's say Fisker, which I think is going to be just a total washout like Nikola, because Fisker, everything he touches seems to die. You know, it's like the third time they resuscitated the carcass of Fisker, and their cars are ugly and gross, and I never liked him or the cars, I'll be totally honest. In the 2.5 years prior to going public, Rivian raised $10 billion, over $10 billion. Most recent round they closed was $2.5 billion in July. They raised almost $12 billion for the IPO, which is great. They have a war chest, so good for them. Amazon has ordered 100,000 Rivian delivery vehicles to be delivered by 2030. So that is a pretty big deal to have Amazon as a customer. And obviously, Bezos cares deeply about the climate, as do most, I think, people in the world who have any trust of the scientific method or have read a newspaper or opened their eyes and gone outside and seen the extreme weather. According to CNBC, Rivian reserves 7% of its IPO allocation for a direct share program for people who pre-ordered. And apparently, you know, collectively, the headline is they made millions of dollars, but I think it was 175 shares was what they were allocated each. Somebody can fact check me on that, which means, you know, people may have made enough not to cover the cost, but they may have made a little bit. It's that time of year again. The holidays are coming up. And have you been thinking about upgrading your tech? I bet you have. And if so, you can take advantage of Dell Technologies' Black Friday sneak peek sale. That's right. It's powerful tech and perfect timing. You're going to save over 45% on some of Dell's latest products, including Dell's new mobile monitors that can travel with you on the go. They're amazing. Have you ever been to a coffee shop and thought, you know what? I wish I had another monitor. I do. I travel with one. And now you can connect with just a USB-C cable. Boom. Now you got double the productivity. Maybe you even want to put two of those on. That's a power move. When I go to hotels, you'll see me. I've got my 3 monitor setup and it's amazing. And here at home, I have my 3 beautiful Dell monitors as well. So here's what you can do. You just visit Dell.com/twist, DELL.com/twist, and you can save up to 45% today at Dell.com/twist. No need to wait till Black Friday. You can do it right now.